Wow.
And then here we are.
We're here.
We're here. Okay.
We're here.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool.
I know.
Like, I'm not kidding. As soon as that door closed and, we're told we're rolling, it's like, all right.
Right?
Here we are now.
Yeah, you don't know what to think.
I can't hear the air conditioning outside.
No.
It's just
us here.
It's us here
Fucking
in this
shut up.
space. And I think it's only appropriate I begin with,
Aw.
hi, Ruth.
Aw. Hi, Nick.
It's really a pleasure to be the first guest on Hi, Ruth. It's an honor. I can't. It really is.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mentioned this, and I said I was going to mention it when we were live, but when you first told me about this, I knew right away, like, this is a good look.
Aw.
Like, this is definitely something you are going to be really, really good at. I was excited when you told me about it, and on my way over, on the freeway, I'm thinking like here we are. We're doing it. I'm on my way to the studio. It's happening.
I know. What was that, like a week ago? No.
No. That a couple weeks ago, I think.
Couple weeks ago. Yeah. It was a while ago.
Never, I had no doubt that it was going to happen. But
I did.
No, you can't do that to yourself.
No. Oh, thank you so much.
No, this is exciting. So thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. I mean, you were always one of my biggest supporters in anything that I do. So, I just appreciate having you as a friend. And you've been really helpful in this, short amount of time that we've known each other? I mean, it's kind of short, relatively.
I mean, here's the thing. Time moves weird. Time is such a weird concept to think about when you're younger versus now when you're an adult.
Mm-hmm.
It moves differently, especially what we do.
I know. It's just in the blink of an eye. Before you know it, you're 40.
It really is. Career-wise, 5 years may seem like a good amount of time, but it's really not. 5 years in a career we do is you're still considered fresh meat.
Yeah, I still feel like fresh meat.
Yeah, I feel like fresh meat every day. But yeah, in relatively speaking, in the short amount of time we've gotten to know each other and become friends, it's just look at this journey we're all on here together.
Look at us. Oh my God. Well, you know what? And I was really excited to do this with you because I'm already so comfortable with you and speaking to you about everything that I feel, because we do that all the time already. What do we call it? We call it a bitch and a beer.
A bitch and a beer.
Bitch and a beer. After work, if we're having a rough day, we're bitch and a beer, and then we know we just need to vent out.
No doubt.
Whatever the fuck we're going through. So,
absolutely.
In that fashion.
Oh, I'm in trouble.
You had to start off right.
You got the Woodruff.
I got the
Woodruff Reserve.
Okay.
Wait, Woodford, not Woodruff. Woodford.
I was
Reserve.
Is there slang?
I'm President Woodruff Wilson, and
shit, I keep closing. Okay. Oh, so cheers to my first guest. I don't know when to stop, so we're going to leave it there.
I mean, don't let me stop you stopping.
No, I'm going to move. Here, you can have that one.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Cheers.
Here's to...
my first victim.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Something to wet the whistle, for sure.
Okay.
Maybe it'll improve my radio voice.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm already red enough as is. This is just going to tomato me.
Fix it in post. We'll fix it in post. It's a black and white episode.
I had written down a guest guide.
Okay.
Wanted to know I forgot it. So I'm going to go off the dome and try to remember. Well, I was going to ask you the same questions that I asked myself in the first episode.
Okay.
So, who are you?
Nicholas Sandoval. No. I had to. On the
do it for the bit.
For the bit.
He comes with props, guys.
Yeah, I do. My name is Nick Sandoval. People have a bunch of different names for me, but I'll respond to anything, really. That's who I am. I'm from a town called Murrieta, California. It's right next to Temecula, California, where all the wineries and casinos are. And you go to Temecula to hang out, and been out here in LA since 2017, and it's been a blast. I transferred from my community college to Cal State Long Beach, and kind of just fell in love with the path I was on, which was to create television, movies.
Is that what you studied for?
Yeah. I was in the production management track.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know any of this. Well, you know what? You probably have told me, and I just forgot.
Do you not listen?
I'm sorry.
I talk? I'm kidding. It's fine.
I am at capacity. I can't take anything.
No.
Okay. Love that. How old are you?
28. I'll be 29 this coming October.
October what?
30th.
Ooh.
Day before Halloween.
Aw, I love that. So lucky.
Yeah. I was brought home on Halloween night. The funniest story my mom and dad will always tell was that, from my dad's perspective, he always jokes that, like, we came home Halloween night. Here you are, a little baby. Brought you home with no instructions, and we hear doorbells ringing, and it's like, oh yeah, it's trick-or-treaters.
Oh God, yeah, you're completely oblivious to everything that's going on around you.
Yeah,
after
exactly.
Getting a baby.
Yeah, I still am.
I thought it was gonna be a joke of when they brought you home and then you scare people as they saw you. Halloween, you gotta have some kind of fear factor to
Oh no. It's like I'm that Antichrist baby from Passion of the Christ.
Flowers start dying.
Jesus.
No, you are the most pure and like genuine person.
Thank you.
That I've met.
I can say the same.
few.
Absolutely. Can
Cheers.
absolutely say the same. And
I'm sipping this way too much.
it's not a bad thing. And I will say this. One of the things that made it easy to be here was, and the reason why I knew this was going to work out so well for you, right, from the get-go, was that you're definitely one of those people that you come across in life that you not only know what to say, but you also know when to say it, which is equally as important.
Really?
Absolutely. Yeah, totally.
I don't. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. Like there's so many times, like when, bitch and a beer moments where it's just like, hey, what's going on? Like you listen, you don't, push anything on. Like you allow people to get what's on their mind off their chest first. You can analyze things in a good, honest, and pure perspective. And then you can lay everything out from how you understand it and talk about what needs to be addressed there. And you have a really good timing with all of that, and it's what made it easy to believe that this was going to be something you're doing. So it's like, yeah, absolutely.
Aww,
okay, I
thank you.
couldn't think of anyone better.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And on that note, what are you passionate about?
Oh, what am I?
Because this is what I'm passionate about. So it just kind of comes out of not naturally. That feels so weird. You know what?
Naturally is a good word.
Back to the question. What are you passionate about?
I'm passionate about. I mean, I'd have to boil it down to, in terms of two avenues, as far as, career and I guess personal, like a lot of it tends to come together rather nicely. I'm passionate about, movies, TV, storytelling, creating in that regard. I've always done that. Even from when I was a kid. Like,
really?
Oh yeah. Like I'm sure my mom and dad have like video clips of things that I've created.
Oh my
like
God.
Even from when I was a kid to
love
when I was
that.
in high school. In high school, I was part of the news broadcasting class.
Oh my God. Is there videos or audio?
Both.
Oh my God.
Both.
I have to see that.
So we got creative with stuff, and that was really fun. And it's been really great to carry that passion into the career that we're in right now. Both right now and other stuff that I've been a part of in a number of titles and positions. So it's great. It's definitely a passion. It's obviously some days are easier than others, as I'm sure most people can relate to. And no matter how passionate you are about something, there's going to be some days that are hard and difficult, some days that are going to be easier. And that's just part of life. But as far as that avenue goes, passionate about the creativity of, film, TV, the broadcasting that we do. Personally, like personal life, I guess I'm passionate about, I've always had this passion for people, I think.
Yeah.
It does me really good to make people laugh. It's one of the things that, really makes me happy.
Yeah.
When you make people laugh, someone laugh and a group of people laugh. That's so cool. It's really, really neat.
It's nice.
It's nice. However, and it's something I am working on, but I feel like I need to find, me personally, and maybe something other people can relate, I'm currently trying to find that balance of what makes people laugh. And to put it simply, like, I'm sure other people may know, like, I am always the first to make myself the butt of the joke, the self-deprecating sense of humor. It makes people laugh, and it's funny, but a lot of times I also feel like it's used as like a self-defense mechanism. It's like nobody or life can beat me down because I already did it.
Can't hurt me if I hurt myself
first. You can't hurt me if I hurt myself first. Bring it on. That was breakfast.
That was breakfast.
That was breakfast. You think you can bully me? But at the same time, it's like, it's, as much as fun as it is to do that and get a laugh out of people, I think it's important to find that balance of making sure I'm not crossing a threshold where it's unhealthy, which I find myself doing every now and then. It's like, oh, I didn't yeah, they laugh, but that was kind of a hard dig at myself, But again, it's like no one was going to.
Do you feel like it affects you negatively? Like, have you thought about it?
I can't pinpoint when exactly it came to mind, but I wouldn't be talking about it as I did just now if there wasn't some moment.
Yeah.
I just can't recall what it was exactly. And there was a period of time where I kind of scaled back a little bit, and there was a difference for sure. A big difference. And
you hurt your own feelings.
Yeah. But I'm racing to the punchline when, like the joke wasn't called for. No one asked for the joke to be delivered.
Yeah.
And then I realized, like, wait, hold on, what am I racing to do that for?
That is something to look at. Like, why are you? I guess being so defensive. Are you afraid of something? I don't know.
I feel like
coming to your attention that you didn't know, or I don't.
I feel like naturally. It may come as a surprise, but naturally, I feel like it's not just me. I feel like a lot of people naturally are just self-conscious people and have a lot of insecurity. We all have insecurities, but I feel like a lot of people tend to focus more on their insecurities than others. And I'm not saying that's who I am all the time, but I can recognize, like, oh, okay, I'm being a jackass about this to myself. And here I am. I'm just going to race everyone to the punchline or before anyone else does, or before life does, for that matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a person. It could just be a life circumstance that happens. And it's just like, oh, I've seen this already because I created it myself. But it's like, there's no reason to create anything.
Do you feel like that's your way of trying to get control of situations?
Could be. It could be. It could be.
Follow-up question. Do you also speak positively about yourself out loud? Or does that tend to feel stupid? Because
it's naturally, for me, at least for me, and maybe others can feel the same way. Naturally, I feel not bad, but it's something to get accustomed to say something positive about yourself out loud. It's something I've started to do recently.
Affirmations. No, I'm not talking about it.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Affirmations. Hold on.
Not ready for that one.
What is this affirmations?
Positivity.
Yeah. But it's important. Like, it's something I've started to do here and there, sporadically, when and where I can. And but it's there's for anyone who may on the cusp of doing that themselves, it will feel strange at first. It will feel a little awkward because
it is.
What you don't want to be, I don't think what anyone wants to try and be is a narcissist. I'm amazing, I'm that, I'm X, I'm Y, I'm Z,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, you need to have a little bit of that.
Yeah, you got to give yourself credit.
Yeah, and you do. Like, everyone deserves to give themselves credit for something. And it's something I find myself working on a little bit more now, more than ever. And setting aside or scaling back when and where I can the other side of the coin in terms of that style of humor I tend to adopt. It's a balance. And listen, like, it's also important to joke about yourself. You have to.
Oh, you got to. That's what makes it funny, because other people can relate to the same self-deprecating.
Sure.
Hey, no one has for another.
Hey, like, you don't want to say it? Fine, I'll do it. Like, I'll take the bullet.
We can all laugh about it.
Yeah, we all get a laugh, and I'll sit in my whiskey at home and
cry about it later. Okay. Passionate about. You said you like making people laugh. Love that, and we see that in you every day. And then passionate about your career. But what's important to you?
I think the important part for me, if I can really boil it down to one thing, is I don't know how true it is. I really don't. I can't say I've had a close enough experience to say that it's a for sure thing or not. But how people always say, a moment before you think you're gonna go, for a moment you think you're gonna die, or the cliche, you see your life flash before your eyes. If I were to have a moment like that, whenever that is, we don't know when that is, whenever it is, it's important to me that if it's true, I see everything laid out in front of me from point A to point B up until the big moment. It's important to me that I look at everything and say, you know what? You did okay. You did good. You did okay, kid. You had some impact in some capacity, in some way, shape, or form, whether you knew it or not. I certainly hope it provides some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Peripheral. I'd like to think that if you see your life flash before your eyes, you get to see the peripheral of how it affected others. Positively.
I fucking love that. Yeah. When I die, I want to see some stats.
Yeah. I want some stats.
I need to know my life fucking matters. Well, do you feel then like you're proud of everything you've lived through already, or happy with the way that things have gone up until this point now? What if you die tomorrow? Would you have that feeling?
I think so.
Nice.
I think so.
That's good.
I mean, like,
is that how you live your life, or at least the decisions that you make throughout life? It's like, I'm gonna do this because at least this is gonna make me feel satisfied in the long run.
Sure. I to answer your question, I think so. I certainly think I have. But what's weird is it's like that's not entirely our question to answer. Does that make sense?
What do you mean?
Like, it's not on me to say, like, hey, like, I did. I mean, like, it is. It's on us to. It's
your fucking life.
It is
what you're satisfied with.
It is. But I feel like that's only the first half of the equation. I think the second half of the equation are those around you that can actually confirm whether or not it's like, yeah, like, he did good. Like, he or she left us with X, Y, and Z, which is something we're going to hold on to and cherish forever. It's just like, the way I think the way I can best explain it is this: like, if I'm being a jackass about something, and you tell me, hey, like, Nick, you're kind of being a jackass about this. It's not on me to say, no, I'm not. It's just like, it's on me to be like, oh, okay, like, that's not up for me to determine. You know what I mean? It's just like, if someone tells me I'm being something, it's on me to listen from their perspective and be like, okay, how did I get here? Because maybe I am. That's how I think of it. Like, yeah, in that moment, I can definitely say when everything's laid out in front of me, it's like, yeah, I did a pretty good job. I can only hope the second half of the equation feels the same way.
Yeah. I think it does.
Thank you.
I think it definitely does.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's what's important to me, at least. So.
Okay. That's good. Anything else?
What
about smaller?
If there's anything to add to that, knowing that because again, we all make mistakes, like making mistakes is part of life. There's no way around it.
Steaks is my middle name.
I had mistakes for breakfast. What was I going with this? Oh,
no.
Mistakes happen for sure. We all make them. It's inevitable. But, I think it's also important to look back and say that, in hindsight and in retrospect, it's important you recognize that you did a lot of the right things.
Mm-hmm.
Because as I'm sure we all, as I'm sure we all know, the right thing isn't always the easy thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's oftentimes the most difficult thing to do. And if you're able to see everything laid out in front of you all at once, it's like, oh, like, yeah, I know I made the right decisions here, 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 and here. And I'm cool with that. I mean, cool. I can rest easy with that.
Nice. I like that. Okay. Now, some more present situations. Any highs and lows of the week?
Highs of the week.
Or what's been going on? How have you been? Anything new? Anything you're stressed out about? Or it's been on your mind?
Let's see. And I feel like we talked about this, off the air,
mm-hmm.
When you had told me
that I was doing this,
that you were going to do this. I just for safety's sake, I don't want to put anything out there, on record before
you say what you want to say.
Before anything's official. But
okay,
I feel like some changes are coming my way for sure. Again, from what I'm told, and it's weird because like change, as I'm sure we all know and can relate to, change could be a scary thing.
Terrifying.
It can be terrifying. There's comfort in pattern. There's comfort in knowing what's to come, even if it's not like a good thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're expected to be hurt and let down, you're not hurt and let down as much, But going back to what I was saying, change can be a scary thing. And, I think it'll be a positive thing
mm-hmm.
down the line for sure. I know it is. Simultaneously, if something is changing, if you're going into a new direction, it means you're leaving the direction you're currently on behind.
Mm-hmm.
And the direction you're leaving, in almost all circumstances where change happens, that path kind of developed who you are. You are who you are because of that path that you've been on.
Mm-hmm.
And when you deviate, it's scary because it's just like I don't
think it's deviating. I think it's just continuing this path, because this path was never gonna it was gonna lead to other paths. So now you just found another path on the same path.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah.
I think
you're not jumping ship.
No. I'm out. I'm out of here. Suck this whiskey down and buy me a.
But no, I get you. Change is a scary thing because you've become so accustomed to this one way of being.
Yeah.
And you're already used to it. You're safe here. And then going into this one other area, you're just like, what's going to happen? But
I feel like the last time I came across something like that was kind of when I first moved to Los Angeles from back home.
Yeah.
I was going to transfer to Cal State Long Beach with the credits I had acquired at the community college I was at.
Mm-hmm.
But, from, Marietta, California, Temecula, California. It's just like
To Long Beach.
To Long Beach and Los Angeles. It's just like two very you don't get as opposite as back home in Los Angeles,
Mm-hmm.
And but it was scary. It was just like you second guess everything. It's like, gosh, am I doing the right thing?
What made you take that leap?
One, knowing that no, there was no way around knowing that what I wanted to do over there was going to add to what I was passionate about, like career-wise, like what we had talked about.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that is the next step.
Mm-hmm.
If this is what I want to do, that's the next step. And I think that's what helped boost me. But of course, I had, my mom, dad, and brother, family at home to help support and kind of show me that along the way. It's kind of hard to see that on your own initially, which is why it's good to have positive people around you that can help show you things you don't quite see on your own at that time in that moment. Or maybe you just need to hear it from someone else.
Yeah, you need a different perspective.
Exactly. Like there's those times we have a bitch and a beer. There's nothing. There's not a lot of things I feel like you and I have discussed where we don't already know certain things, but it helps to hear it from the other person.
It does. Because then when you're like stuck in between, like, fuck, is this good? Is this bad? And then you hear it, it's like, all right, maybe, there's a little bit more to the good. Or you think of different bads, or maybe,
Yeah, absolutely. So that, I feel like that was the last time I felt like, it's like, ooh, like, okay, like that's fine. I'll go down that way now, and here I am now, soon to be unofficially. But it's like, okay, like I think I'm ready for
You're
it.
ready.
I've had those conversations. I know we discussed it briefly when you told me that this was happening. But I had those conversations that I think I needed to have, and heard the things I think I needed to hear
for this one.
Yeah, from other people whom I trust, yourself being one of them.
Oh, yeah, because change is exciting, no matter what it is. I mean, like, fuck it. What do you have to lose?
And it's okay, right? And it's totally fine. It's natural to be hesitant.
Oh yeah,
about change.
It's human.
It's human. It's human. We have to give ourselves some credit. We're human beings.
Yeah.
We're allowed to feel. We're allowed to feel X, Y, and Z about A, B, and C.
Nice.
That's the whiskey talking.
Nick's
gone. Nick's gone. This is
started
Jim.
throwing letters at me.
What's this, algebra?
No, but I am proud of you. I'm really
Thank
proud
you.
of you for taking this leap.
Thank you.
Because I know it is sad. We're not sad, but yeah, we won't go into it, only because we don't know anything is set in stone. But yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And again, I'll say, I know I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. I'm proud of you for doing this as well. This is definitely really, really cool. And it's kind of nice to talk about it in this kind of fashion with you here.
I know.
It's nice.
With all these lights and cameras, I
nice.
just blinded myself by
I know.
staring at the light.
I know. What I say earlier, this, with the lights all around me, I'm not a crook. I didn't do it.
Oh, no. So overall, how do you feel?
I feel pretty good.
You feel good?
I feel pretty good.
Nice.
That's
good.
I feel all right. I feel all right. I've got goals that, I'm close to meeting, if not gotten some already in small victories here and there. They're happening, which is cool. It's really, really neat to, have something in the works for a while, and, you find yourself one day saying, hey, like I'm a week away, or I'm 2 weeks away from this. So I got that I've been really excited about, which is why things are looking okay. They're looking all right.
Yeah.
What about yourself? Am I allowed to ask?
What about me? Oh, totally. I've been dying for someone to ask me how my fucking week has been.
Why do you think I got this radio station?
I'm forcing people to listen.
You.
It's about me. After the last episode, because I really did hate it and I wasn't comfortable with it, But that's just because I was in a weird headspace and a lot of things were going on at once. I wasn't making good decisions. I started feeling bad about myself because of it. But then I came to a little realization with this one guy that I was talking to. And I don't know why I always look away. I need to look at you. You're there. I need to look at you.
Nobody sees me. I'm kidding. That's it. There I go again.
God damn it.
God damn it.
We're working on it.
We're working on it. All right.
Yeah. So we girls like to build a little fantasy of the men that we're talking about. No. We build them up to be this person that we want them to be. Okay. And in doing that, we don't actually see them for who they really are.
Okay.
And so
the lady beer goggles.
Oh God, the delulu goggles are
the delulu lemon goggles.
Yes, they're expensive. And you know what they cost you? Your fucking sanity. And It made me sad when I kind of had to accept that I was putting so much responsibility on this person to be my source of happiness and validation for me, because I was like, oh, this great person that I built in my head, if they want me, if they accept me, then that means that I'm pretty great, and or I'm what's the word? I'm worthy of this great person's love. Oh, okay. But it's just, I'm building this whole fucking story in my head. And I really had to tell myself, like, I release you from having the responsibility of my happiness. Because I was like waiting for him to like text me back, or waiting for him to message me, or to give me literally anything, because I still have this image of this person in my head without even showing me who he is. And it really dawned on me that, like, fuck, I actually have no idea who he is, what he likes, what he does, who he's about, because I never saw that. And then I was like, fuck, I'm kind of doing that to myself too. I have this image, this perfect image, this ideal Ruth in my head, but I'm not seeing myself for who I am. And so I'm always going to be disappointed. Just like I was disappointed with whatever he did because he didn't fucking follow the script. I'm disappointed with myself because I'm not following my own script. Without even giving myself the chance to just like take it in, be like, we're here, this is where we're at, this is fine. It doesn't have to be this whole perfect scenario, because that's me. I always have to try to perfect things. I really do, which is why I don't do things sometimes, because I'm like, it has to be perfect, it has to line up with this image in my head instead of just letting it be. So yeah, once I kind of had that realization, I felt better. And I was not so hard on myself, so that kind of pressure was taken off of my shoulder. Weight was taken off of my shoulders, whatever. And and now I feel better now. And I don't know if it shows, but
that's great.
Yeah. So that was me.
Yeah.
I wasn't good, but I'm good now. But I'm fine now. It's always a learning process anyway.
Okay. Like you say you're good now. So, but you are good now.
Oh yeah. Like I'm good now. I'm good now. Now I'm like no longer waiting for this person's messages or anything. Or I've now officially let it go and just like.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Same thing with me. Every day it's a work in progress of trying to let go of this image that I have in my head.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you're talking about to an extent. Yeah. Absolutely. It's I think you raise a really good point. You create the script. We all in some way, shape, or form create the script, and
especially the dramatic ones like myself. Ooh, baby, I love a drama. I love the chisme. I love fucking dramatic love stories. And so I'm gonna build up this fucking stupid ass thing where it's like, I need you to die for me to prove that you love me, type of shit. Okay, no.
What?
To a grand extreme, you know? Or it's like,
what?
Just an example. Yeah, so I have a really toxic relationship with love. I haven't figured that out yet.
We're all figuring it out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's certainly. I mean, one of those moments where, you don't need me to tell you this, but it helps to hear it out loud. It's just like we're all figuring it out. Like we can't be too hard on ourselves.
No, I know. That's why I want to talk about it because it's like we're all kind of going through the same thing in one way or another.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, delulu girls, this is a message. This is a message just for you. Is it showing? It's the whiskey showing. There's a message just for you that we need to stop building these ideas in our fucking head of the people in our lives, whether it's whoever your partner or situationship is, or even yourself. You got to let that shit go and just accept it for who you are now, where we're at now, and then embrace it because right here today is going to be gone tomorrow. We're never I'm enjoying this moment with you now because it's here today. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to worry about tomorrow. We're just going to fucking be. And on that note, never mind.
Delulu Goggles is sponsored by Winston Cigarettes. Winston tastes good like a cigarette should.
Is that how you got your news anchor voice from fucking high school?
You think that's my news anchor voice?
Let me hear it.
No. No. But no, I think you laid that out really well because I feel like any one of us can plug that in some way, shape, or form to our own circumstances. We have a script. We have an idea that we typed up ourselves, and the second it deviates or doesn't go what we wanted it to be or wanted it to go, chaos.
Fucking chaos.
No, I mean, chaos, yes, but it's like, ugh.
Well, yeah, emotional chaos. Shit starts erupting from the inside, and you don't know what's happening.
I think you should see a doctor.
You need to get that shit checked out.
Is this a cry for help? Don't do that. But I think you laid that out very, very well.
Yeah, so that's my most recent discovery.
Yeah, no, I definitely can relate to that. I feel like we all can, and it's fine. We can't, we got to throw that out. You address the ladies, but guys, we are of no exception. We are no exception.
Do you guys build up also illusions of the woman that you talk to, or is it just us? Give us the inside scoop, Nick.
I'm not even sure if it's. I know it's something, but for it to be like a script, I don't know. That's kind of hard to answer. I can't. I know I can understand what you mean, but I'm not sure if it's what I or most fellas out there do on our own. Or
is it when you meet a girl, you see her and you have this image of her, and then once you start to get to know her, it slowly starts to fade?
Fade like it's done?
I'm talking about it in a really bad sense, but it's like, yeah, say you see her, she looks like such a nice girl, and then she turns out to be this neglectful woman who doesn't really care, but do you still hold on to that, oh no, she's sweet and she's kind, or do you believe what she's showing you and be like, no, she kind of sucks?
Oh, that's tough. I mean, look, that's all circumstantial for sure, but I feel like...
Does it depend how hot she is? Nick, I swear to God. I hate you so much.
Yeah, you can't hate me. I hate me.
Beach to it.
That was dinner last night. I know what you mean, though. It's an interesting point. We could throw looks and appearances into the equation, but I feel like because we both do that, I feel like it kind of cancels itself out in its own way. As far as the difference go between how we see this script from a woman's perspective and a man's perspective. I certainly feel like, I will say this, what certainly helps I think what can help to the illusion to maintain what we think this person, from a guy's perspective, what we maintain our idea is of this woman that we may meet or talk to, if we recognize something, I think a lot of it can be overlooked when X, Y, and Z is provided. And what I mean by that is this. I feel like the fact of the matter is that, on the subject of dating, what this is about,
Mhm.
you know, it's two very different experiences between a man and a woman when it comes to dating. They're two different experiences. There are certain things I think men can get less
Mm.
of, not just in a relationship, but just in life
Mhm.
altogether. Like, it's not uncommon for us dudes to get maybe 5 compliments a year.
Okay.
I'm like, that's not just me speaking.
No, I
Like,
hear you. Yeah.
that's when the dudes are together and be like, hey man, like, I was told X, Y, and Z today. It's like, cool. Like, yeah, I should be due in a few months for mine. That's just the reality of it. You know,
Yeah.
we're not. A lot of guys I don't feel are as showered as frequently with positive affirmations from the opposite sex frequently.
I was gonna ask that too. I was like, in my mind, I was like, is it safe to say that men don't feel like their voice is as valued as much? Because, like, say if something did bother them, are they just gonna like, oh fuck it, I have to deal with it?
There's an element of, I can say this to an extent. There's an element of, hey, it's like, this is crap, but I can't do anything about it. I can't say anything about it because I'm a guy and no one cares.
No.
It's like there's a reason why these past few years alone, I think it's been cool. Like, we're actually taking the time to be like, hey, like let's designate some time to talk about men's mental health.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's been something kind of
absolutely
overlooked. One of many things that is just not talked about a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really the reality of it. It's just like we'll talk to each other, and like I remember I was with a group of friends. We were just kind of, you know, shooting the shit back and forth, like kind of venting, you know, but in like a joking manner, is the only way you can talk about it.
Mm.
And like one of the girls in the group was just like, "This sounds awful. Like what do you mean? Like X, Y, and Z happens or doesn't happen as frequently?" So it's like, oh yeah, it's just something we accept and we move on with it. So going back to where I was going with this, if we recognize, say, some of the unhealthy patterns when we meet someone, when we meet a woman, or so on and so forth, but they provide us with that, what little we're already given,
cancels each other out.
It does. It hooks us. It's just like oh my God, like she's the first person to tell me that or give me this in years. like I can't ignore this. It's like, what am I going to do? Go back out there and, you know, fish blindfolded?
Start over again?
Yeah, start over again.
Absolutely not.
Fish blindfolded and backwards, upside down? No. That certainly has something to do with it.
And
for
see,
sure.
That makes me sad. That makes me really sad, which is why I think guy relationships are so cute and so important, but I'm also very curious about them. Like, what do you guys talk about? Do you guys actually get vulnerable, or are you guys just shooting the shit, distracting each other so that you guys don't fucking think about what actually bothers you?
We get vulnerable in our own way to one another.
What does that mean? How?
That's the thing. It's almost like when we do, it's at times, sometimes it feels like we're blacking out. You know, we let it all out to the extent of like then you wake, like it's like waking up from a dream. It's like, did that happen? Like, did I actually just let everything out?
Aww.
Like the one in few times I get to do it, it's just like, whoa, like flashbang. It's not all that way, but I feel like
I feel like it's a lot of it is that way.
I feel like some can definitely relate to that.
I just hung out with another coworker, another friend. He's been promoted to friend, and I just kind of started asking him questions, you know, about his life, as I do, you know, fucking prying, because I see something's in there, and and I remember him saying, I'm so happy I get to talk to somebody about this now. And that made me so sad. I'm like, there's so many people in the world.
I feel like that captures everything perfectly.
Yeah, so many people in your family, and you can't talk to anybody. Or even yourself. I'm like, that's not healthy for you.
It's not. But again, I think for years now, and I see a change for sure. happening in the social fabric of how we go about life now. I see a good change coming about it, thankfully. But for, the longest time, it was just like kind of the notion for us guys was just like, oh, well, like,
Suck it up.
Suck it up. You're a guy.
Aw.
Like nobody cares.
That literally, I've said "oh" so many times. It makes me so sad. That's
and it's not like we don't feel like we can. It's not like we don't think we can't approach anyone about it. Like,
you just don't want to, or is it uncomfortable?
It's a little bit of both. A little bit of both. Mm-hmm. It's daunting, because no matter what, you're showing a little bit of vulnerability, I feel. And
what's the worst?
You let your guard down. When you let your guard down, that's when the arrows come flying in.
What's the worst that could happen?
Oh, I'm not saying that I'm not saying something bad can happen.
But there's some fear behind it if you guys are afraid of being vulnerable.
It's just not natural.
What do you mean? It's not natural.
It's not natural. And like I said, it's changing now, thankfully. Yeah. But I mean, gosh, like what's the pattern? Like all these years, just like men's mental health being so much in the toilet, men still are the highest rates of suicide, all that stuff. But it is changing, thankfully. But yeah, there's just, I can't really put it into words.
Is someone afraid of being vulnerable?
Yes. No.
No, you've been doing great. So
it's just weird. I can't. Wait. Oh, I thought you were going for a chair.
Also.
I've been bamboozled. I've been ruthed.
My shit. Oh.
Yeah. There's just the the notion of like, yep, suck it up, just power through it, because you got to be strong. You got to be strong for yourself.
Yeah.
And there's this notion of you got to be strong for yourself and other people, especially as you get older and you take on more responsibilities, whatever those responsibilities are, fill in the gaps for yourself. But like there are certain things and circumstances and people that are depending on you to be the iron pillar. And while it's important that we, kind of let go of that a little bit, the reality is that like certain things and sometimes people depend on us to be that pillar. Mm-hmm. So it's what makes it hard. It's what, not impossible, but it's what can make it hard, which is why harder. Mm-hmm. Yeah, harder, more difficult for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. That's just my experience. I can only speak on behalf of what I come across and what I encounter, and I'm, and what other friends of mine, other guy friends of mine, mm-hmm. kind of confide in, and what we talk about. But that's the notion of it.
Do you have any suggestions or, I guess, questions to the men watching this? Is there anything that you have to say for them?
As far as as far to open up?
Yeah.
Like suggestions on how to open up and release that tension?
Yeah.
Drink.
Yes. Sponsored by.
I will say, LAX, you can drink anytime at LAX. They don't know what time zone you're coming from.
It's always 5 o'clock.
It's not wrong. Yeah, I'm drinking at 5 a.m. So what? You don't know where I just flew in from.
I don't know. Just the same way that I told the women of stop being delulu. Well, no, be a little delulu with a little razzle dazzle.
Wait, what?
Wait. What is it? I saw a post somewhere where it was like, you have to be delulu, but also with a dash of audacity in order to, I forgot the point of the meme, but both of those words together.
You have to be delulu with a dash of audacity?
Yeah. Like this, for example, I was delulu that I was going to have my own show and podcast, and then I had the audacity to come in here and actually book a thing, and now look at what's happening.
I consider that a goal, not a delusion.
Oh, okay, right. Maybe that's what it was. Accomplishing goal. Maybe that's what it was. Is to accomplish your goals, you gotta be a little delulu with a dash of audacity.
I feel like delulu is when you start gaslighting yourself.
Oh, well, now you're putting a bad spin on delulu. It's got to be fun.
Okay.
Wait, what do you mean? Elaborate.
I feel like delulu, like we're talking about delusion, right?
No, the new delulu lemons that just came out. Yes, delusion.
Yes, delusion. just so that we're clear, you know.
Yes.
Talking about delusion,
Uh-huh.
like you're lying to yourself in a way.
Okay.
So like you're saying that you thought this was you lying to yourself rather than like this setup where we're at right now today. You thought you consider that to be something you lied to yourself about rather than it being a goal you wanted to accomplish? Because I feel like there's a difference there.
See, that's where it's negative. I see it as this was so out of reach. This was a dream. This was not real. And then I made it real.
A fantasy.
A fantasy.
I feel like there's a difference between delusion and fantasy.
They're kind of the same.
What's the difference?
They're the same.
How are they the same?
Well, when you're delusional about something, it's because you're building a fantasy in your head. But lying to yourself is seeing the facts of a situation that it is and telling yourself otherwise.
Okay. I think I see where you're coming from with that.
Mm.
Okay.
Positivity, Nick. We're working on it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I lost where we were going with this.
I look at it as what comes out of it. You know, I've heard many fantasies come true.
Mm.
It's very rare I hear my delusion came true.
Oh.
Like when was the last time you heard that?
Copy that.
That's where I make the difference.
Okay,
at least.
Okay.
I'm trying to find the words as to what separates it, but I'm looking at it in terms of outcome.
Okay. Yeah.
What the hell do I know?
I don't know.
I'm drunk.
I've lost my train of thought. Fucking an hour. I'm just kidding.
But
yeah, no. We gotta give something to the people to think about.
I think we're giving them a lot to think about.
Oh Jesus, what do you think they're worried about?
Us.
As they should be.
As they should be. Where were we? Where were we left off on that tangent?
Fuck. We were talking about men opening up and being vulnerable. So I guess my question is to my audience, men or women or anyone. Can you think of somebody in your life that you can open up to? Even if it's just one, maybe it's even to yourself. But if it's no one, I'm gonna need you to start with yourself.
Yeah,
just start with yourself. And there is a difference from thinking to yourself and then speaking out loud, which is something that therapy has really opened my eyes to. She recommends that I journal. Hi, Amy. I love you. She recommends that I journal because that'll even slow down my thoughts even more so I can really process what the hell am I actually worried about or feeling. So yeah, you can't just think about it. You have to talk about it. And there's been so many moments where I'm like driving in my car and I'm thinking about it, but I'm like, no, I need to have a conversation with myself because if I can't put a constructive sentence to my feelings, then they're actually delulu. And my feelings are just like fucking running wild, but not being constructive in like a real true form? No, okay. What's the word?
I'm following.
What am I saying?
It's your podcast.
I'm bringing in my feelings from my brain into the real life world and how it's actually affecting me.
Okay.
Kind of by saying it out loud. So
I get you.
Yeah.
I think you if I can follow up with a point there. You mentioned the conversations you have with yourself in your car. I feel like a good first step. Which again, I've talked about stuff I'm working on, stuff I'm trying to practice more of, the positive affirmations, so on and so forth. I guess, you address the girls if I can address the fellas out there.
Oh, please do.
I think a good place to start is, wherever you're going, like wherever you may be going to, whether it's on your way to work, whether it's on your way home, on your way to visit a friend or whatever. Whichever route it takes you, kind of find the halfway point as I do every day before work.
Yeah.
The first half of my commute to work consists of silence, where I try to work on those new perspectives of, myself,
Positive affirmations.
Giving myself, can't even say it.
Literally can't even
giving
say
myself the positive affirmations. And then the second half of the ride, once I have that conversation with myself, once I, talk about this to myself in silence, the second half of the commute, I feel like is when I can start thinking, okay, like I want to listen to this song. I want to listen to this audiobook, maybe this podcast, not this podcast, but like just something to listen to on your this podcast, yes. But my point is this, like, that's when the second half of the commute is when I could put the noise in my head. I feel like we tend to we're surrounded by so much noise.
So much noise.
We're surrounded by so much noise. Like, I don't think we need to consistently be blasting something in our ears 24/7 all the time. I think it's a healthy thing to just kind of sit in silence every now and then.
I personally disagree, but that's just I need to have noise. I need to have noise to counteract the other noise.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It goes that route. But I hear you. And, but that's nice.
But
that's good. That's a good routine to have in the morning.
Make it, make it whatever. Maybe it's not silence to a degree, but it's, maybe the first half you fill it with the noise you need to hear. Like for me, I'm not distracting myself with other noise because I'm filling that void with the positive affirmations. Whether it's out loud, which is noise, or maybe it's to myself because we hear ourselves the loudest and clearest when it's just us, up here in our noggins. Whatever it may be, I found that helpful. Give it a try. It's worth trying.
Yeah. Try anything. Try anything.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing. And I promise you're going to feel better.
But don't do drugs, kids.
I also strongly disagree on
Oh, no. I dare you to do drugs.
You know what? You should try. Well, Nick, thank you so much for being my first guest.
Oh my gosh, we're at 3. Oh,
that's what I'm telling you.
What?
I know, it flies.
Flew by.
Time flies when you're having fun.
I think I just spit too, but sorry.
This was so good. You know what? This is not the last time you're going to be on here, though.
Well,
you are going to be back as the first of many.
Oh, my ex did the same thing. Hey, there I go.
God damn it.
There I go. It comes out so naturally.
We just talked about it.
It comes out so naturally. I don't process what I said until after the fact. That's why I laugh at my own jokes. You guys give me so much shit for it.
We do. We're like, Nick, no.
I'm funny.
Are you okay?
It's my Jeb Bush moment. Please clap.
Waiting for
Am I right?
But cheers to the first one.
Cheers. It's an honor, truly.
Yay.
Seriously. Thank you.
Of course. Okay, friends. I hope you guys had fun with us. And I can't wait for you guys to see this one. This one was fun.
I had a blast.
Me too.
This is exciting.
Okay. All right. I want to say bye.
Take care, guys.
Okay. Love you. Bye.
Bye, Ruth. Bye, Ruth.